Hello, people of God at our Wausau parishes, and welcome to this week's Quick Things. The headline or the thumbnail title is On Location at a Lake. I am at my favorite lake in central Wisconsin. Recording this a bit early, as when this is sent out, I will be at another favorite lake in central Michigan where I'll be on vacation with my friend Chris Roosh, who's a priest of the Diocese of Grand Rapids. We've been gathering at his family's cottage in central Michigan near Clare, Gladwin, if you know any of those places, Meredith. We've been doing this for over 25 years, so it's a great tradition. It's a lake very much like this one, Sunset Lake, a little smaller. This is Sunset Lake in eastern Portage County. But you'll see no motorboats. Actually, strangely, it's a beautiful day, but there aren't many people here either yet. But it's early in the day. There'll be folks arriving probably as I'm talking to you. But Trout Lake, where we gather in Michigan, no boats, a little smaller, very, just very quiet. And so what we do there is read. I've got 4 books that I want to read, some magazines that I need to get through. We cook dinner, and I go for a long walk. Go swimming every day, so it's kind of the same thing we do every day. Probably boring by a lot of standards, but it's a great break. So I wanted to share a few things. First of all, a reminder of our golf outing coming up on August 16th. This week, however, is the time to register. The links are in the email, or go to the website, again, for the golf outing on August 16th. So this is a fun, mainly to have fun, but we'll also raise some money for our outreach at the homeless shelter, the Good Shepherd shelter. The meals that we serve carry some expense, so the benefits of the golf outing will help to support that meal ministry. Again, registration this week. Want to call attention to the need for catechists for our faith formation, Forming Young Disciples programs. This is a great opportunity to share our faith and help young disciples come to know Jesus and learn how to better follow the gospel and live as good disciples. Check it out. There's information in the email, and just send me an email and we'll get you connected. Maybe you would be a catechist of a particular grade, but you could also assist, be an aide in those classrooms. It's nice to have a couple people who can handle different things that come up over the course of the evening. We meet for about an hour on Wednesday nights, our grade school program, and then our high school program, as we've announced in the bulletin on Sunday and in communication with parents. We're changing up a little bit the 9th and 10th grade program. Not as big a change for Eastside parishes, but a significant change for folks at St. Anne, but also bringing with those changes are some great benefits. So the program for 9th and 10th will meet on Sunday nights from 6 to 8 at St. Anne. And it will begin with Mass at 6 p.m. And then the program, or the evening gathering, or the gatherings by a grade or whatever, will be from basically 7 to 8, beginning as soon as Mass ends. What's important about this is that it connects our worship of Sunday with our program. And so the Sunday Mass component, the readings, etc., will be part of the evening gatherings as well, talking maybe about what we heard in the readings and the preaching, etc. Sunday night is a change for St. Anne's. Eastside Parish program has been on Sunday nights. Wednesday, when we've usually been meeting, has proven increasingly to be problematic in terms of a lot of competing events. Eastside parishes have had a good experience with Sunday, and so we hope that this will be a change that, while difficult, because change is always difficult, brings with it important benefits. And so we look forward to that program moving to Sunday nights for grades 9 and 10. That's when confirmation formation will occur as well. So we, of course, are in the midst of the Summer Olympics in Paris. I must confess that I'm not giving very much attention to watching the Olympics every night. I just don't find the time to do it. But I am not indifferent, and I know many of the names of the athletes, and I'm paying attention to it. I'm just not watching it every night. Father Al, however, you might talk with him after Mass. He's quite a follower of the Olympics. So if you want to talk Olympics, talk about Olympics with him. Now, in the email, I'm including two of my favorite images of the Last Supper, because of course there's been some controversy in the opening ceremony with a rather brief but jarring depiction of the Last Supper. Initially, the producers of the opening ceremony said it wasn't meant to depict the Last Supper, but they've kind of agreed now that it was. Certainly it was jarring, it was unfortunate, it was disrespectful. I've heard some people say, well, we should boycott the Olympics because of that. Well, I mean, my goodness. A few people made a very bad decision, a disrespectful decision, but I don't know that we need to, cast a pall over the entire event and the athletes who've trained for years to be part of that and the enjoyment that we would get from that. So I think we want to acknowledge the disrespect, how unfortunate it was. I think bishops and others have acknowledged their outrage at that. And I thought one of the best responses was on Facebook, just encouraging people to post images of the Last Supper in a respectful way. Now, what was interesting was that almost every post I saw on Facebook was of Da Vinci's Last Supper, which understandably is the one that is most popular, the one we know best, but it's not the only one. So in the email, I've included two of my favorite Last Supper images. One, which depicts the Last Supper more as a Passover Seder meal with lots of people gathered around the table, not just the apostles, 11 or 12, but lots of other folks who are gathered there, which would have been true of a Passover Seder meal. It would have been kind of a communal event. And then the other is a image that I brought home several years ago from Guatemala. I actually found it in the Guatemala City airport. And it shows people at the table, but their faces have no eyes or nose or mouth. And the idea of that, as I understand it, is that we might all see ourselves at that table, and we might all see ourselves gathered with Jesus around the table. And another thing that I like about it is that it shows that they were eating watermelon as part of that Last Supper. So I've included those images in the Quick Things email. You can get a sense of kind of that we can depict this in various ways, and some of them are quite delightful as well as sacred. As I'm gathered at this lake, we're reminded that a lot of Jesus's ministry, and kind of connected with the Last Supper as well, a lot of Jesus's ministry occurred along the lake, the Sea of Galilee. And one of those important teachings was the bread of life, what we call the bread of life discourse, which unfolds through chapter 6 of John's Gospel. And that's what is being proclaimed at Mass for the next several weeks. Along with that, and the Olympics, kind of tying Mass and the Olympics, the TV Mass that's usually seen on Channel 12 at 6:30 is not being shown during the Olympics because there's Olympic coverage. And that just reminds me that if we know people who maybe have always watched the Mass on TV, but we could help them connect with our parish live streams of Mass. Right now would be a great time to do that, but to do that on a regular basis. The TV Mass is fine, but it's a half hour. What we do is, the full Mass with music and, readers and everything else. It's just a nice way for them also to stay engaged with the parish. But even better, of course, than helping people connect with the live stream would be to bring them to Mass if they're able to come to Mass. I know my mom and dad in Marshfield would love to go to Mass. It's just not possible for us to get them there every week. But if you have a neighbor or a family member who you could help bring to Mass, and they're capable of doing that, that would be a great thing to offer them. So live stream access if you can, or even better, bringing them to Mass. I want to close kind of inspired by that Last Supper discourse that I mentioned in John's Gospel, which will be unfolding as we hear the Gospel proclaimed at Mass in the upcoming weeks. I want to share this prayer from Father Austin Fleming. He's a priest of the Archdiocese of Boston. I share his prayers occasionally at the end of these Quick Things emails. He's a very eloquent, kind of poetic writer and prayer. And so I want to share this prayer that was inspired by the Last Supper discourse. Make me hungry, Lord, for what feeds my heart, nourishes my soul, and strengthens my will to do the right thing. Make me hungry, Lord, for what cleanses my thoughts, lifts my spirits, and purifies all my desires and passions. Make me hungry, Lord, for the truth of your word, the grace of your Spirit, and the beauty and splendor of all creation. Make me hungry, Lord, for doing what's right, righting what's wrong, and for making peace with family and friends. Make me hungry for you, O Lord, for the bread of your truth and your wisdom, the bread of your mercy and kindness, the bread of your patience and pardon, and the bread of your gracious presence. Make me hungry for you, O Lord, for the bread of your body given for me, the bread of your body bruised for me, the bread of your body broken for me, the bread of your body wounded for me, the bread of your body pierced for me, the bread of your body laid down for me, the bread of your body entombed for me, the bread of your body raised up for me, the bread of your body shared with me at the table of praise and thanksgiving. Make me hungry for you, O Lord, and nourish and strengthen my heart and hands to break and share the bread of myself with any and all who hunger for you. The bread come down from heaven, the bread of eternal life. Amen. Let us all strive to engage in the great miracle that Jesus introduces to us in the Eucharist, in sharing of ourselves with one another. God bless. See you all soon.